there, pretty people, and welcome back to Such Pretty. Today I'm going to show you how to apply false lashes. I'm going to show you how to apply above your natural lash line and beneath your natural lash line. I'm also going to show you 3 different lash types: singular lashes, thick lash band, and a thin lash band. You also want to make sure that your hands and your tools are clean, because if you have any sticky residue left over on your hands or your tools when you apply your lashes, it could make applying the lashes more difficult. So let's get started. For each lash application I'll be doing today, I will be using Revlon's clear lash glue. It dries really quick and it's also latex free. For the first lash application, we're going to go ahead and put this one underneath the lash line. This sort of application is more of a natural look, and the goal of this is to hide the band. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you curl your lashes and apply just a little bit of mascara. What I recommend when you're putting lashes underneath your natural lash line is to use a lash with a very thin band. They either come in white or they come in clear, and they kind of look like this. Feel free to put a little bit of black liner on the band if it's white, just to make it blend in with your lashes more. As you can see here, the band of the lashes is really thin. Before you apply the lashes, make sure that they fit against your eye, trimming from the outside in. You also want to make sure that your scissors are clean when trimming. The difference when applying glue to lashes that we will be putting underneath the natural lash line is you actually want to put the glue on top, and you just want to put a very thin amount. Okay, now for the fun part. There are many different tools that you can use to apply your lashes. For this particular one, especially since it's a thin band and since we're putting it underneath the natural lash line, I recommend using a lash tool, which is kind of like tweezers, except it grips the whole lash. But you can use your fingers or tweezers themselves, whatever you feel most comfortable with. Also, make sure you wait at least 30 seconds until your lash glue gets tacky, because if it's too wet, it won't stick and it'll get all over your eye. Also, if at any point this feels uncomfortable, if your eyes start stinging, if you get something in your eye, stop. Applying lashes to the lower lash line can be really difficult, so apply them this way at your own risk. So here I have my lashes gripped with my tweezers. So what we're gonna do is take our index finger and lift the eyelid just a little. Basically what we're gonna do when applying the lashes is stick them to the underside of your natural lash line. Do not put it on your waterline. And gently and very carefully squeeze them in place with your tweezers. And like I said, be very careful. You do not want to stab yourself in the eyeball. Unless you want to. I mean, you know, do whatever you want to do. Okay, give me just a second, guys. I need to get closer to my mirror to apply the rest. Sorry about that, guys. I'm pretty blind and needed to get super close to my mirror to see. But this is the finished look with lashes on the lower lash line. And I'll kind of tilt my eye up a little bit for you. As you can see, it's close to the waterline there, but not quite on it. You want to stay as close to the lash line as humanly possible, because if you get it on the waterline there, the lash itself could irritate your eye and the glue could irritate your eye. And the last thing we want to do is hurt our eyes. You can also kind of see the band there. That's just because I didn't color it enough. But, you know, it happens. You can also see that applying lashes to underneath the natural lash line will give you a more natural full lash look. Applying lashes to the lower lash line takes a lot of practice, so don't worry if you don't get it on your first try. And like I said, if your eyes start watering, if your eyes start getting irritated because they're underneath your natural lash line, just take them off, try again later, or wear lashes on top of your natural lash line. Now we're going to apply lashes on top of the lash line. This way is far more popular and much easier. This time I will be using a thick lash band. This is the lashes we applied underneath the natural lash line, and this is the lashes we will be applying on top. As you can see, the lashes we'll be applying on top is much thicker compared to the lashes we applied underneath. One of the downsides to the thick lash band is that it can be a little stiff when bending, whereas the thin lash band will move and form more easily to your eye. So when you apply glue to your thick lash band, you kind of want to bend it and wiggle it a little bit. And don't worry, I'll show you how. This time we'll be applying glue to inside of the lash line instead of on top like we did with the under eyelashes. Here you can see that the glue is applied to the inside of the eyelash. And to help it form just a little bit better to your eye, take one side of the lash and grab the other and just kind of bend it like this. And just kind of go back and forth and do this until it's tacky. Bending your lash will help it better form to the eye. I personally find it easier using my hands when applying the thick band lashes instead of the tweezers. But again, use whatever you're comfortable with. I'm about to get really blinky for a second. When applying the lash, you want to start from the middle to the outer end of the eye. Try to get as close to the lash line as possible. And then just kind of grab your lashes, your natural lashes, kind of squeeze them together while pushing the lash band in place. And then let that dry just a little bit. And bam, you're done. Another reason why I recommend using clear glue instead of the white or dark adhesive is because if you mess up, it won't be smeared in white or black all over your eye. And that's how you apply thick band lashes. The next one we're going to apply is individual single lashes. These little lashes are just connected on a tiny little band. When applying the single lash, I definitely recommend using a tool just because the lashes themselves are really small. Here you can see I'm holding the singular lash with my tweezers, and I'm going to take just the tiniest amount of glue on the little head here. Again, you want to wait 30 seconds for the glue to get tacky. You want to make sure that they're curving downward and outward when putting them on your lower lash line. Another downside to the singular lashes is if you happen to rub your eye, you have a higher chance of losing some of the lashes that you've applied. This time I'm going to apply it with my finger just so you can see the difference. Sorry, my hand's in the way there. Again, I'm going to apply this with my fingers just because that's how I feel more comfortable doing it. My lashes right now are a little wonky just because I've applied several lashes, but as you can see, the bottom singular lashes curve downwards, and putting the singular lashes on your top line curve upward. I also wanted to let you guys know that lashes with a thick band tend to be a lot more heavier than lashes with a thin band or the singular lashes. So if you decide to wear lashes with a full band, keep in mind that they may feel a little bit heavier on the eyelid. However, if you're new to wearing false lashes, I definitely recommend practicing with a thick lash band first, mostly because they're easier to hold in your hand especially if you're still trying to figure out whether you feel more comfortable using a lash tool, tweezers, or your fingers. Remember, if you take really good care of your lashes, a lot of them are reusable. What I recommend to clean them is a little bit of rubbing alcohol on a Q-tip, and make sure you clean over the band and the lashes. Also, remember to make sure that they're completely dry before you apply them. And that is the tutorial for you guys. I hope you learned something new today about how to apply false lashes, and I'll go ahead and link in the description all of the lashes that I'm wearing today and where you can get them. If you like what you saw here today, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I'd love to have you here for future videos. Until next time, guys, I'll see ya. Bye.